Well, it's going to be different from person to person to person. What's the intention behind the one night stand? That's really what it comes down to. And how is that intention being played out in the intimacy or lack thereof? It's really case by case. To try to say that all one night stands are bad and that all committed relationships are good, well, that's going to exclude a great deal of people whom have had totally different experiences than that description. So we can't just give a cookie cutter answer. And we will not give a cookie cutter answer. Instead, what we will say is, if you are drawn to one night stands, casual fling, nothing wrong with that. It is pleasure. You like pleasure. Why create a value judgment on that? For those that desire committed relationships, you desire pleasure for a long period of time rather than just one night. You are drawn to each other because of the pleasures that you create, be that an erotic pleasure, be that an emotional pleasure, or be that a spiritual pleasure. You are drawn to that, which reaffirms your natural goodness, your natural pleasantness. And these intimate erotic interactions, which a one-night stand contains, and which committed romantic relationships can contain, these are simply expressions of pleasure. So, when you are engaging erotically with another, this is where the root chakras, the sacral chakras are very much connected. It's as if the root of the experience for both people has an opportunity to express itself, to breathe, and it can cause these individuals to become greatly entangled with one another. That's one of the things that can happen. And this is the case with one-night stands, but it's also the case with committed relationships. This is one of the things that helps to build the intimacy through that root and sacral chakra resonance between the two people. A type of connection is made, and it's like you're both sharing the same foundation. So if you have a lot of one-night stands, well, by the end of it, you might say, wait, where am I standing? Where's my foundation? What am I tethered to? A lot of one-night stands, it can be easy for a person to lose their sense of self through blending all of that root sacral energy with many different people. So it's not good or bad, but it can cause one to feel as if their center point has sort of been scattered amongst many people. And that can be used auspiciously. I'm not saying that's a negative thing either. A person can still create integration and strength and positive empowerment from there. Remember, a person can be in a committed relationship with somebody and can be a terrible communicator. And even though they're committed to each other, even though they're blending with each other, perhaps there's not a lot of happiness in that relationship because some of that psychological, social evolution is not really taking place. So you can have a committed relationship that is stagnant. Many people would say that's not what you prefer. But you can also have committed relationships that are supportive, that are evolutionary. Both people involved, as the root and sacral chakra blend, they then share a foundation that gets more powerful, that gets more magical, and more capable of creating higher goodness within their lives. So you have yin and yang with both expressions. With the one-night stand, a person can experience different types of perhaps erotic freedoms. They may be able to indulge their fantasies. They may be able to suspend their usual ego in a way that their societal role perhaps doesn't allow them to. So there are benefits to this as well. Nevertheless, you must look at your motivations as well as your approach. Furthermore, what are you doing after the manifestation has been achieved? Whatever that may be, whatever that means to you, what are you doing afterwards to integrate that? Is the other person and yourself honored across that process? From our view, that is the barometer to utilize to understand the true impact of actions and choices. Am I honoring myself? Am I honoring the other? And am I doing this before, during, and after the experience? That is of crucial importance. If you find that that's not necessarily the case, that's not really what you're doing, it's important to take a look at that and see if there's a type of need that's trying to be filled or met. People try to fill their needs in one-night stands, but they also try to fulfill their needs in committed relationships. Both can be sought from a place of insecurity and lack. Both can be explored from a place of empowerment and alignment. Your barometer will show you this. It will show you your motivations. It's a matter of getting in touch with yourself and check in with your partners. Remember, one-night stands, it's a lot of intimacy, but without intimacy as it relates to the other person, their journey, their story, who they are. We're not saying that all one-night stands are inconsiderate of such things. However, one-night stands tend to de-emphasize those other personal details. The gathering tends to be around the connection, the pleasure. If you don't really know who you're connecting with, that new foundation you align with may not necessarily be your preference, what you're looking for. So connection is key. And connection is key in intimacy. Without the connection, it's pseudo-intimacy. It's false intimacy. Another form of this, perhaps psychological manipulation. False intimacy exists to psychologically manipulate, you see. So create true intimacy through creating a connection with the person. Connection is key. Connection leads to true intimacy, and that's what reveals the self through the union. But without that connection, it's like rubbing two sticks together to start a fire. So many of you prefer more efficient ways of starting the fire, rather than trying to rub two sticks eternally to get some sense of connection.